Excitement abounds as the Hudson Yards development project opens to the public. But despite tax breaks larger than those offered to Amazon and a subway extension meant to serve its incoming residents who can afford to move there, the multi-million-dollar luxury apartments might be a tough sell. Some real estate experts say the luxury condo market is flooded, and that will cut into the Hudson Yards' bottom line. Home prices in Manhattan have slid more than 3%, according to a recent report conducted by StreetEasy. But the developers at Hudson Yards have one amenity not found in every luxury development in Manhattan. Here with details on what that lure might be and the scoop on New York's hottest new neighborhood is James Tamry, real estate reporter for Bloomberg News. James, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first, just tell us, what is it that's happening? Because this is being presented as the grand opening of the Hudson Yards.
Well, Hudson Yards has actually been open since 2016. People have been in the commercial spaces for several years now. The grand opening that's happening this week is the grand opening of the public spaces. So the restaurants, the vessel, which is the art object that has stairs that people can climb, the public kind of gardens and areas, and of course also the Neiman Marcus.
All right, so with all of the hubbub that's been around all of this, what is, I guess, the hope for the developers? Is this just really like a luxury development, or is this more of a public interaction space? What was the plan?
The idea is that it's something for everyone. The idea is that it's a city within a city, effectively. And so there are residential towers, there are office towers, there's this kind of mall with restaurants that we're talking about. In phase 2 of the program, there's supposed to be a public school and further residential buildings, and it's supposed to be an entire community within New York City.
And I noticed that the way a lot of people keep talking about it, it's very much like, well, it's supposed to be, because there's been nothing like this, correct?
That's true. The closest analog is probably Battery Park City, but that wasn't nearly as ambitious or large or as kind of expansive in terms of what it's offering. It's primarily residential. But in the sense that it was a planned community, yes, Battery Park City is as close as it gets, but New York really hasn't seen anything like this in its history.
Well, of course, going back to the public spaces, a lot has been made about, and I hesitate to call it a mall because I feel like this is not a mall in the traditional sense that we know it. But is there any indication that having this retail space that offers restaurants and high-end shopping, et cetera, is that actually helping to sell some of these high-end properties?
Hudson Yards is on the far west side of Manhattan, in a neighborhood that's relatively inaccessible, or was relatively inaccessible until the 7 train was extended by the city for the cost of around $2.4 billion. It is not necessarily part of any other neighborhood. So the idea is that all of these amenities that are being offered via the community of Hudson Yards will draw tenants, commercial and otherwise, and buyers for the condominiums that are quite high-end that are going up.
But the market has actually been changing. I mean, we've seen so many luxury developments come online in the New York City market, and is it still as hot as it was, or is it starting to decline?
The short answer is no.
Ooh.
So the New York City condo market, or residential real estate market above a couple, luxury real estate market, has been in decline pretty much since 2016. The problem is that there continues to be a lot of new inventory that's hitting the market year over year over year. But since 2016, a lot of developers have actually been holding back existing material because they know that the market has softened somewhat. And so as a consequence, you have a backstock of inventory and more inventory coming on the market. And as a consequence, you have this real glut of available material and a heavily slackened demand from buyers.
That's fascinating, considering how much the issue of affordable housing has been on the forefront of so many discussions here in New York. I do want to pivot a little bit towards the issue of tax breaks. Now, actually, there was recently a story printed in the Times about how this project got huge amounts of tax breaks to be done, actually bigger than Amazon, which got a lot of public attention, drew a lot of ire. And I know they're not a one-to-one comparison, but I just wanted to get your take on why Amazon got so much attention, and yet this project got more tax breaks, but nobody seemed to notice.
Right. I think I can only comment on this slightly, but I think the fundamental point is twofold. One, these are very different issues wherein Hudson Yards is actual development. It's creating an entirely new business district, which theoretically at least is bringing in tons of new jobs. And then two, it's really a question of PR, right? Many companies around the country get tax breaks for developing in different cities.
That's a common practice.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazon, which is helmed by the richest person on the planet, did a very public campaign wherein they went around the country getting solicitations for people who were bending over backwards to give them tax breaks and tax incentives in whatever context. And so because they were publicizing this, people were paying more attention to it. And then in many respects, the backlash was somewhat inevitable.
All right, well, final question then. As the real estate sales, let's say, start closing and people start moving into Hudson Yards, what is it that we should be looking for to determine how successful of a project this is, and how much time should we give it?
We need to give it a lot of time. This is not a 5-year project or a 10-year project. It's a 20 to 25-year project. That said, the developers would love to sell out these condominiums that they're building. They're very expensive. The current available apartments at 15 Hudson Yards started around $4 million and go up to over $30 million. And then the more expensive condominium is 35 Hudson Yards, and that has yet to be built, but apartments are starting at around $5 million, right? There are hundreds of apartments in these buildings. There are not necessarily hundreds of people right now eager to be spending $5-10 million on a relatively untested part of New York City. So the developer understands, I think, to some degree, that this is not going to be an overnight blowout success.
All right, that's asking for patience from New Yorkers. So that in of itself, I think, is a huge, that would be a big get. Anyway, James, thank you so much for your reporting and helping us get a better understanding of what's going on, particularly with the real estate angle of the Hudson Yards development. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.